Hello and welcome to Axcel's Binary Options Millionaire Calculator. As you know, the internet is trying hard to make us believe that trading binary options is a lucrative way to make money online. Well, that is, if you have a profitable system for trading binary options. And there are lots and lots of people trying to sell you exactly that. A supposedly profitable system that may come as an indicator or signal service or automated trading even by the use of a trading bot. Well, my advice at this point is caution. Be careful and watch out for scammers, and there are numerous out there. But this is actually not the reason why I made this video. Instead, it was the question that came to my mind, provided that I have a profitable system. How long would it actually take for me to become a millionaire just by trading binary options? And this, of course, can only be a rough calculation with the assumption of several frame conditions, but it still gives you an idea how long it would actually take to achieve that goal. So that's why I created the Binary Options Millionaire Calculator in Excel, which this time around does not use any VBA and macro programming, and just by plain Excel formulas provides a money management in tabular format that also allows the projection of the time frame involved. The actual calculator looks like this and is organized into different stages, each of them having a target which can be set, and the idea is that you trade with always the same investment per trade until you reach that target before going on to the next stage with a then higher investment per trade. It will become a little bit more clear once I enter the remaining figures up here in this top row, which basically holds our frame conditions. This one here is the start budget, and whenever you open an account with any binary options broker, you have to make a deposit, and typically you will have to make a deposit of $250. And as a beginner to binary options, maybe you want to start trading with only small amounts in the beginning, so I put $5 here, but that amount of course will be increased as you go along, and then sooner or later will hit a maximum value, a maximum investment amount. That can be the amount that you are comfortable trading with, but at max it will be the trading limit set by your broker. And that is also something that you have to find out in advance. Before signing up to a broker, I would recommend, because this limiting investment can be a limiting factor also in your trading, because if you really have a profitable system, you do actually want to make higher investments in later stages, and having that limit will definitely affect your trading and also the length of your trading. And I know one broker, for example, that has a limit of $50,000. That is actually quite high, but on the other hand, the minimum investment there is $25. So I will leave it with the values I entered earlier and continue now with the stage target over here, which is basically the net profit that you want to see at the end of every stage. And if I enter a value of 100%, that basically would mean that you want to double up your budget before starting to go ahead and trading with a doubled investment. But that value is actually quite high. You don't have to double up your budget. You can start to increase your investment already way earlier. So I go ahead and enter 20%, and I think that gives a better and more reasonable strategy here. And looking at the first stage, you start out with $250 and you trade until you hit your $300 mark, and then you start to invest more per trade, so you go from $5 then to $6. And yeah, you can see the result for every stage here in a detailed form. There are 20 stages displayed at once on this page, but of course you can also have a look into higher stages by just entering the list here and selecting a different interval. That is possible, and you can also double check the increase of your budget, and sometimes it is not the value that you entered up here, like here for example, and that is due to rounded values. You cannot trade half trades, for example. You cannot make half trades, so all trades have to be rounded to a full trade, and also this value is dependent a little bit on this average profit. Each stage has an average profit of every trade, and I know that differs a lot. Sometimes you can make a very high profit per trade of more than 80%, and sometimes it's lower than 70%. So you have to find kind of a mean value or an average value for all these trades, but at least you can change that average value for every stage in this table over here. And in this table here, you have again your investment that is dynamically being increased as same as your budget. And as I said, you can enter your average profit here. And one of the key factors of this whole calculation, obviously, will be the success rate of your trading strategy, of your system that you're using to trade binary options. And that success rate has to be entered here. And right now it's on 62%. That is a very low value. That's true. But I highly recommend not to be too optimistic about it. We all want a very good strategy with a success rate of more than 80%, more than 90% even or something. But I really doubt it that this is actually possible. In practice, it will be much lower. So 62%, as I said, is a rather low value, and it should not be much less than that. If I enter maybe a value of, let's say, 58%, there you go, then it would still work for the first stage because I have an average profit there of 73%. But looking into the second stage, there is an average profit of 72%, and this is where you're not profitable anymore. So you are losing more money than you can actually win. And even in the first stage, you can see the very large value of trades you need to make in order to reach your target goal is an indication that you're really at the verge of being profitable at all. And so that's why your success rate of the strategy is really important here and plays a key role. I put it back on 65, a little bit more optimistic this time, and I think this is now a good basis also for the calculation. And looking into the list, we can actually see that we will have 46 stages to be completed to actually hit that 1 million mark. And finally, of course, we want to know, well, how long does it actually take? And based on the assumption of an imaginary starting date when we started trading, we just have to enter a few more figures up here, starting with the trades per hour. How many trades can you actually make per hour? 4 trades, that would be 1 trade every 15 minutes. But let's say you can make a few more, maybe 6. So that would be 1 trade every 10 minutes. And if you do trading not professionally before work or after work, that might be a few hours every day. I leave it with 2.5. It could be a higher value, it could be a smaller value, I don't know really. And of course also the question, how many days can you actually do that per week? Once again, don't be too optimistic about it. I put here 3. I can only achieve this 3 times a week. And then this forms the basis of our calculation. And if we scroll down, then we can see that there is actually some time involved here in achieving that $1 million goal. And as I said, this is only a rough calculation. The calculation is based on working days, but it's not looking at holidays. I think that would be a little bit too much. There are so many averages and assumptions in here, and it's just not necessary to consider holidays in that calculation. And anyway, the day shown here is not really the day when you're going to become a millionaire. As I said, it's just a rough calculation, but as I said, very interesting, I think. And of course, you are free to go ahead and change the parameters in this calculation. Go ahead and change the investment amounts. Try a higher success rate of your strategy and invest more time into your trading and see how the figures change. And you can do so by going on my website. You can download the file for free on www.axcel.webspace.rocks. And of course, I'm always interested to hear your comments, your feedbacks. And that's it from my side. And I thank you for your attention.